Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It's a snowy day here in the far north of Maine. Up along the Canadian border, we have less than an inch of snow, and by Christmas Eve, with all the rain and the ice and the sleet that we're supposed to be getting, it'll all go away by Christmas Day in the Crown of Maine. I hope everybody is having a beautiful day wherever you might be. I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee, because we're talking about California, Gavin Newsome, and this crazy state of emergency he has declared because of the bird flu in his state. It's a money grab. It's an absolute money grab. Gavin Newsome himself says this is a proactive action. More dairy cows have been testing positive for the bird flu. There are about 600 cows in quarantine. They are sick, but they are not dying. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Newsome came out and made a statement saying this proclamation is a targeted action to ensure the government has resources and the flexibility to respond to an outbreak. There's going to be federal funding, ladies and gentlemen, and Gavin Newsome wants to be the first in line. And if you're in the state of Maine, don't worry, we're next. Because whatever Gavin Newsome does, Janet Mills follows right after him. It's absolutely crazy. I think she has a crush on him or something. I swear to God, every time that man does something in California, she tries to do it here in the state of Maine. Thank God we only got to put up with her for 2 more years. That being said, there are no reported person-to-person cases spreading. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go all the way back to Biology 101. You know, when you're sitting in science class in high school? Well, when I was in high school, we had very good science teachers, and we took very good science classes, and they taught us practical things that we needed to know about how our world works. And viruses have a course of evolution. So this virus has not figured out how to go from person to person. It has not discovered that key yet. Could it? Possibly. Will it? Who the heck knows? We don't know. It has just figured out how to go from poultry to cows and to people taking care of those animals. As far as person-to-person contact, we're not there yet. However, the last time states went into states of emergency over illnesses, it caused a lot of psychological damage to a lot of people. And you can see that in your daily life. Go to the store. You can see how that bullshit that they did to people, that control that they placed over people, literally damaged them. So we have a faction of people, and I'm not making fun of anybody. We have a faction of people that since Gavin Newsome has declared a state of emergency the other day, they are panicking because he declared this state of emergency because of another sickness, because of the bird flu. Oh my goodness. There are 61 cases of bird flu in 16 states in the United States. California has 34 of those cases. And this governor has, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, has ginned up a whole population across the United States that is in fear of another virus coming to get them. Then we have another faction of people that are panicking, and they're pissed off, quite frankly, because they don't want another longest 15 days to stop the spread. All because Gavin Newsome is positioning California to be the first state to collect money. There are many people that I know personally that don't believe that Mr. C-19, that illness ever existed. That the whole thing was a mind game. It was a psyops. It was the pandemic. I am not in that camp. I know there was an illness. I got it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's a very long story. I don't remember 21 days of my life after I got this. I think it was a weaponized, souped up flu. And yes, it did damage. It did damage within my body. It did damage within my husband's body. There are still days that we struggle with certain brain functions in our lives. I never want anything like I had. We got the Delta airline version. We're still on YouTube, so we have to be very careful. So we got the Delta airline version, which happened to be the worst version of that weaponized super flu. And I tell you, it was real. And the recovery process was almost 2 years for me. So anybody that says that that illness did not exist, I'm not with you on that. The pandemic part, this is where I think the pandemic was. It was in the protocol to help people recover. The protocol that told doctors and nurses, hey, I have friends that are doctors and nurses. They went against every ounce of their schooling, of their training. They took an oath to do no harm. And then they followed religion. Science became a religion. And they were so afraid to lose their jobs. They lost their damn common sense, and they lost every damn ounce of schooling that was logged into their brain. And they helped to extinct people because they just blindly followed along. It was the remedy. That was the pandemic. The virus existed. Science can prove the virus existed. So while I am not in everybody's camp, y'all can have your own opinion. You may never have gotten it, or you may have gotten it and it never affected you, and that's great, but I have chronic illness. What I can say is that I'm still here and I got no treatment. The only treatment we had was the treatment we had at home, which was when I lost my 21 days. Can't remember it. I had some lucid moments. My husband spoon-fed me liquids, carried me to the bathroom. There were moments that I was lucid enough, and we made videos for our children because our children didn't live near us. Our children lived all over the United States, and we didn't know if I was going to make it. We look back on those videos that our children have never seen, and I know I was sick. I do remember an incident where I was coughing up blood clots the size of quarters. And my husband called the doctor. And he was told that it was because I was just coughing so much. Not to panic, it's the flu. The whole town has the flu. Just a regular flu, it wasn't Mr. C-19. Do not take a cough suppressant. Do not take a cough drop. Instead, plenty of fluids and hard candies. Suck on some hard candies. It'll cure all your ills. Because we were quarantining, thank God we're preppers. Because we were quarantining, we did not know that the entire town had come down with the flu. Our hospitals were overrun. There were no more room in our hospitals. Our doctor's office, basically the only doctor's office in town, was overrun and overwhelmed. And the decision was made by the medical community that they were going to keep as many people in their homes as possible because there was no place for people to go. And should people find out what kind of flu it was, there would be mass panic. And that mass panic would induce other hidden illnesses in people, other comorbidities. So I did have something. And I think it was a weaponized flu. And I never want it again. And I'd never wish it on my worst enemy. And I think that what Gavin Newsome is doing, remember, he's Pelosi's nephew, what he's doing, what it's starting to incite, that's the pandemic. That's the psyops. They know that if they keep human beings in a constant state of fear and anxiety 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're afraid, that it suppresses your immune system and you get sick. And if you get sick and you have comorbidities like high blood pressure, diabetes, if you're overweight, if you're not healthy in general, do I think we need to worry about what Gavin Newsome is doing? 16 states, 61 cases, 34 in California, and the man has come out and said it is a proactive action. I think we need to pay attention, as we need to pay attention to anything in life. You need to be aware that things are happening. I think that we're going to have a lot more wild things happen before President Trump takes office in January. Right now, we have the drones. What are they looking for? Whose are they? Are they space aliens? We have Gavin Newsome declaring states of emergency for an illness that has 34 people sick in his state. For an illness that has not learned to jump from one human being to another. It's not medical advice. This is just facts. We have stuff going on overseas, but we are also coming up on the holiday season. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, be the kindness that you want to see in the world. Go to your Christmas parties. Live your life. Don't take yourself too seriously, because that's a boring life. You got to live a little. Add some spice to your life, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful creatures of the world. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your holiday season amidst all the chaos in the world. Just shut it out for a little while. Dig deep for those who need to dig deep to find your Christmas spirit and bring it forth and spread joy into the world. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, as we always close this show, Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.